Bhola Island. The people here have been called the original climate refugees. Bangladesh's largest island, located in the world's biggest delta. It's where rivers that spring from the melting Himalayan glaciers meet the rising seawaters. It's disappearing under those waters.
All the siltation and waters from the South Asia go down to the Bay of Bengal, mid Bay of Bengal, going down alongside the Bhola. And this per second 1 million cubic feet of waters, creating huge amount of river erosions. If you consider in Bangladesh, this is the highest amount of river erosion is happening in Bhola Island.
Landmass is being lost. Since 1995, half of the island has succumbed to the erosion caused by heavier water flows and rising sea levels. I'm standing here in the center point of Bhola Island. Rice fields used to once cover this area, which is now totally submerged. In the last decade, half of the island has become permanently flooded, making it difficult for farming, but also forcing 500,000 people to relocate. Now, experts believe that at this rate, the island will be totally destroyed in a matter of decades. Many have fled the island, heading for the sprawling slums of the capital. But for those who remain, the rising seawaters present a serious challenge to their livelihoods and food security. Not only do people fear that their homes will be destroyed, but that their food supply will be increasingly contaminated. Much of their crops are now drowning in seawater.
As climate change intensifies, coastal area will be inundated and therefore will lose land. Under business as usual conditions, up to 30% of agricultural productivity may be lost in South Asia.
In Bhola, the food situation is so dire that the government is now distributing food to villagers who have lost their land. Not only is global warming affecting those living on land, but also those on the water. Shah Jahan is one of the thousands of people that live off the waterways. He is of the Bede people, known as river gypsies in Bangladesh, a people who spend most of the year traversing the country's waterways on houseboats. Over the past decade, the river that he calls home has become increasingly unpredictable. Violent currents and powerful tides are forcing him to reconsider his nomadic lifestyle.
I go where the river takes me, but the waters have become too dangerous for my children. It's difficult to fish. Many of our people have drowned. I don't want my children to share this same fate.
Numbering 800,000, river gypsies are a small and special group in Bangladesh. Already more than a quarter of the population has abandoned its traditional way of life, as unpredictable weather and water forces them to abandon their boats for permanent houses on land. Bangladesh is one of the countries least responsible for the causes of global climate change, and yet it is Shah Jahan and the hundreds of thousands like him whose lives are now being changed forever. Nicolas, Haque, Al Jazeera, Bhola Island, southern Bangladesh.